Isa, a beautiful young woman who got married to her husband named Uzo. They were blessed with three children, a girl and two boys. Isa was a vibrant and hardworking woman who worked so hard for herself and her family. She had engaged herself with multiple businesses, but all to no avail. She had done meat business and so on, but all ended without a profit. Her husband, who does a plastic business inside the market, could not be able to feed his family. Isa was depressed because she had tried all the businesses she knows. One day, she sat in front of her house, thinking on another business to invest since she had tried several businesses, but she couldn't pay her hand in any business that could fetch her money. Immediately, her daughter came out from the sitting room and started asking her mom the reason why she sat alone. But Isa was speechless. She told her daughter her ordeal in her businesses and all her efforts to grow her business but ended without a profit. Ebere, her daughter, called her mother and said, Mom, have you forgotten that you are a very good cook? Why can't you try cooking and selling food inside the town? I think it will fetch you more money. Isa got up immediately and thanked her daughter for giving her such an idea. The next day, Isa began to look for shop inside town. She got a shop and started buying foodstuffs and restaurant equipment to start her newfound business. But Isa was so desperate to make money. She said to herself that she needs to apply so many secrets in her newfound business in order to make more money in the business. She promised herself that the business would be her last business. 1 week later, Isa started her restaurant business. She opened the business in such a way that people were so attracted to her restaurants. People started patronizing her in order to know the taste of her food. Isa gained the hearts of her customers with her food. Isa was known for her exceptional dishes. People were amazed by her cooking. Most people living around her shop stopped cooking in their houses just because of the aroma of her food. They all wait for her to cook in order to buy from her. This becomes strange to some neighbors. With all this, Isa continued to excel in her food business. Once she finished cooking, people would queue up in front of her shop to buy her food. Isa was so happy the way her business was moving. She was so happy to see her business flourish. She made so much profit from her business. Even her husband was shocked the way his wife was making such amount of money. But behind closed door, Isa has a dark secret which she used in cooking her food, which no one knows about, including her family. The secret gives her food an underworldly flavor. She entices her customers with most exquisite tastes, drawing them in for more. Isa's restaurants become widely popular. People from surrounding towns and villages travel long distance to taste her food. The food she serves is unlike anything anyone has ever tasted. She becomes known as the Kana chef. The town becomes obsessed with her dishes, and her customers cannot get enough of her cooking. The food becomes a symbol of luxury and indulgences. People from different companies came to patronize her. Men left their wives' food just to have a taste of Isa's food. It was like a magic that anybody that tastes her food would never agree to eat from any other restaurant. It was a competition between Isa's restaurants with the other restaurants around. Isa becomes powerful in the town, which made her to start opening branches in the neighboring town. She started buying houses of her own, cars and landed properties. While all this were going on, Isa's husband was worried the way the business was going. One day, he came around his wife's shop to know how the business was going. On getting there, he discovered the number of people queuing in front of his wife's shop with plates and spoons on their hands. To the extent, the number of workers serving in the restaurant was no longer enough for the customers. He was shocked and called by his wife to come and help them to be serving customers. During his stays in his wife's restaurants, Ozo discovered that his wife was not ordinary, that there is something wrong somewhere. He discovered that the number of customers in the shop was unbelievable. He said to himself that he must discover the secret of his wife's sudden growth within the space of 6 months. But despite her popularity, there are rumors that begin to surface about Asa's unusual ingredients. Some people have noticed the strange taste and texture of dishes, but no one dares to question the favorite chef. One fateful night, Asa woke up around 12 a.m. in the midnight to visit her shop. After preparing to leave, she took her handbag. Her husband woke up immediately and dressed to follow Asa without her consent. On getting close to her shop, she received a call from two young men asking her where she was, that they are waiting for her in the shop. Asa moved faster to meet up with them while her husband was following her slowly. When Asa got to the shop, the two men handed her two big bags of meat and she brought out money from her handbag and paid to them. As this was going on, her husband was behind watching them. After paying the two young men, they left with their money. Asa dropped her bag to carry the first bag of meat inside. Immediately, her husband rushed the second bag to know the exact contents of the meat. While he was opening the bag, he discovered that the meat in the bag was all human parts. He closed the bag and left immediately. Few hours later, Asa came back home and Ozo, her husband, pretended as if he was not aware of what was going on. He wanted to question his wife at that moment, but he kept quiet. Later in the evening at home, Asa came back from shop after having a busy day in the shop. Ozo welcomed her home. Ozo called his wife, "Asa, my dear wife." And she answered, "Yes, my husband. I would like to discuss an important issue with you." "And what is that exactly, my husband?" And Uzo began to speak. "Please, my wife, is there something that you are hiding away from me in your restaurant business?" said Uzo. And Isa questioned her husband, "What is the meaning of this question, my husband?" "The way your business is growing amazed me. It's not up to 6 months that you started this business, but you have done more than someone that started 20 years ago," said Ozo. "Are you not happy for me that I'm progressing in my newfound business?" said Asa. "Ah," my wife said, was Asa. "Ah, how can you say this, my wife? I'm so happy for you. Is there something that you are not telling me?" "Please, Ozo," said Asa, "if you want to say something, please say something. I want to go and rest." And Asa left her husband and entered inside. Ozo was so angry and said to himself, "If Asa is hiding her secret to me, then I will expose her to the world, no matter what it will take me." Asa restaurant continued to progress. She makes so much income from her restaurant. She bought a story building and packed to the house with her family. She started living large and started driving different cars. It was like a prayer answered to Asa. She became famous and popular as the only good chef in the town. Few weeks later, Asa customer began to fall ill after dining at her restaurant. Their symptoms are strange and unexplained, and rumors of poisoning started to spread. However, these rumors are quickly hushed as the attraction of her food is too strong for most to resist. When Uzo noticed the people's reaction from his wife's restaurant, he went and called the youth of town and told them that he knows the secrets why his wife's food is making people sick. He told them that the wife uses human parts as meat to cook for her customers. The youth shouted and rushed to Isa's restaurant. Isa was forced to confess to her crime. The townspeople demanded for justice. She was captured and brought before the town's hall. Isa was publicly humiliated in front of the entire town. The very people who once adored her and her meals now despise her. The once popular chef was dragged through the streets, taunted and scorned. However, Isa's restaurant was burnt down and the angry youth set her ablaze immediately, and she died. That evening, Uzo returned home and took over his wife's properties. His children was against him over his hatred towards their mother. They disowned their father and relocated to another state. That was the end of Isa and her popular and famous restaurants. Guys, hope you find this story interesting. What moral lesson do you learn from this story? Please kindly subscribe to my channel at African Tales by Ifenkili. Like and share with family and friends. Turn on your notification button and stay tuned for more interesting and mind-blowing stories coming your way next time. Guys, remain blessed. Bye.